Vikings.
Power rankings.
Here we go.
That's aggressive. It's aggressive.
Thank you, sir. Here we go.
All right.
My top 10 teams in the National Football League.
Come on, Rich.
In my power rankings, number 10, new to the list. New to the list. First time since 2010 that this team has won its first 3 games on the road.
Oh.
That has not happened in 12 years since they won their first 3 games in a row on the road, and they're going for 4 because they not only have potentially the defensive rookie of the year, they have a guy up front right in the middle of their defensive line who's gunning for defensive player of the year, period. And this team that fits all of those facts are the New York Jets. Number 10 on the list, coming for Denver, going to Mile High, fresh off of the Lambeau Field cheesehead wearing celebration. Here they come to go to 5-2. The Jets are on my power rankings list. I didn't think that would be at all possible, but they're there.
Well, you didn't know you were going to do power rankings.
That's true. All of it.
Or
All
any
of it is
rankings.
weird. All of it is weird. Like I said, I'm going
Lists,
to cats to
rankings.
see if they're barking. Are pigs flying? Number 9 on the list is new to the list as well. And I know you're going to have a lot of fun at me that they popped up on the list and that they're on the list from being off the list, and they were on a bye last week.
Oh, jeez.
That's right. The Tennessee Titans are number 9 on the list.
What?
They are number 9 on the list.
What are you smoking, bro? Give me
So
something.
you got a team that goes to Green Bay and embarrasses Aaron Rodgers, and they're below a team that didn't play and has less wins?
Yes. The Tennessee Titans right now are 3-2, coming off a bye. Derrick Henry, and this team has won 3 in a row, which the team I just mentioned has not. And they're also last year's 1 seed, which the team I just mentioned was not.
Yeah, but that don't matter.
And these are my power rankings. Back off.
Well, I'm just saying that don't matter, though.
And if the Titans play the Jets, I would be genuinely concerned that they would lose that game. The way that the Titans are currently playing and feeling about themselves, I'm taking the Tennessee Titans. They're number 9 on this list. And
Okay.
number 8 is back on the list. They're back on the list. They were off the list. They're back on the
a lot of
list.
fluctuation.
Yes. They are 3-3, and I don't care that they're above a 3-2 team and a 4-2 team. But this 3-2 team beat the 4-2 team. The Cincinnati Bengals are back on the list. Joey Burrow and this Bengals team,
Okay.
which, by the way, to this point in the season, have yet to give up a single touchdown in the second half of the season.
Sneaky good
The
defense.
defense is beginning to ball. Joey Burrow went to the Superdome and wore the Jamar Chase gamer, and he had an incredible football game. He had his best game of the year, Joey Burrow. He had 300 yards passing. He ran one in. He threw one to Jamar Chase. The Bengals are back on the list. Number 7 on this list is down 3 spots, and I know they look terrible. And they shouldn't have lost this game, but they were banged up, and I'm just going to still say the 49ers, I can't quit them. They're number 7 on this list. I like the 49ers still. I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL. You might be able to pick them off now, but guess what? And they got the Chiefs coming up this weekend, and I'm concerned about that, but they still have a championship quality team when healthy. They're 7. Number 6, new on the list. I'm finally doing it.
Oh, thank you. 6 is a little low, though.
No, it's not. Minnesota Vikings, Skol, welcome to the list for the first time. They're 6 on the list. They're 5-1. I liked what I saw out of this team in Miami, where crazy things happen, like Teddy Bridgewater coming off the bench and looking terrible 1 second, and then driving him down the field. And Jalen Waddle, what a crucial fumble that was. The Dolphins are off this list, by the way, for the first time all season. Jalen Waddle with a terrible fumble, and the Vikings just took that fumble and made sure they didn't lose that game. They're 5-1. They're sitting atop their division, 2+ on top of a Packers team that's not on the list, fell off the list. Not in my top 5 of my power rankings. Up 2 spots, finally breaking the top 5, are the New York Football Giants. They're sitting there at 5-1. They're up 2 spots. They just don't go away in games when it looks like in the previous years they're going to fold. And I know Mooch came here on Monday and said that they're winning all these games that are one-score games, and sooner rather than later, the pendulum's going to go back the other way. But the pendulum's still pinned in the positive direction for this team, and they just keep making plays when they need to. And Kayvon Thibodeau starting to make some plays as this rookie, and he's only going to get better. And at some point, Galladay and Tony are going to do something for this offense.
Maybe.
One would think. But the Giants are number 5 on this list and up one spot despite losing. TJ Jefferson, I liked what I saw out of the Cowboys in that game on Sunday night in Philadelphia, and they're getting Dak back, and I think they're going to win the next 2 games, and I love this defense. Good God, do I love this defense.
Finally a pick I can agree
And
with.
I think I get it. They lost, and they're going up one spot.
Makes sense.
I think so. I do think so, man.
I'm co-signing this list.
I'm taking the Cowboys as number 4 in my power rankings because I like the way they finished that up, and it was a perfect segue from Cooper Rush now to Dak Prescott. Number 3 on this list is the same as last week. The Kansas City Chiefs, they almost won that damn football game for them. And they are really, really good. They still have Mahomes. They still have everybody. Look, you don't need to know. You saw what the hell they did. And they might be gunning for my number 7 team on the list in the 49ers this week and doing to them what they did in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Number 2 on the list is still the lone remaining undefeated team in the league in the Philadelphia Eagles. No change for them. 6-0. But I still think when push comes to shove, the team that still has not been shoved out of the first spot of my power rankings, period, end of story. The Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL with the MVP quarterback. We had Jordan Poyer on yesterday. I love the story of him saying he got in a Sprinter van with his wife and his daughter and drove 15 hours because he didn't want to leave his teammates by the side of the road just because he couldn't fly. So he drove. And I just love what this team is doing, man. They're doing it all, and they believe in each other, and that's why they still are my top team on my power ranking. So no change in the top 3. Still Bills 1, still Eagles 2, still Chiefs 3. I'm taking the Cowboys to move up a spot even though they lost. And they're top of the Giants who they beat. And I think if the Giants and Vikings play each other, I'll still take the Giants. I kind of dig them. And the Jets are 10, Titans 9, Bengals 8, San Francisco 7. And the Ravens, Packers, Bucks, and Dolphins all dropped off my top 10 list.
So is that it?
That is, sir. That is.
Cowboys lose
And go up 1.
and go up.
Titans don't play appear on a list at 9.
Ahead of a team that won on the road and
Correct.
has more wins.
Right. And I still need to see a little bit more out of my Jets. How does that sound? I think I'm going to see some more out of my Jets coming up this weekend. And the Chargers, I just, even though they're 4-2, I still, that could have been if they didn't get that break on special teams,
They're playing weird.
they might have lost that game even.
Or tie, whatever. I don't know what's going on with them either. They should be so much better.
And same with
even though they're 4-2.
The Ravens too, man. The Ravens are looking about like we should have won that game against the Giants.
Yeah. And against the Bills.
And they should have won that game against the Bills and the Dolphins. Don't forget that one. They
Ravens
could
are
easily be 6-0.
They're going to be there at the end. They're working through some injuries. They're getting some guys back. Their run game is a little weird right now.
It is. Isn't it amazing that they're
because they got
passing game
Dobbins coming back from injury. Gus Edwards still hasn't been activated, even though he's been practicing. He's coming back from an injury.
And yet their running game is okay because do you know? I saw this one before, and here we go. Just want to make sure I did see it correct. Do you know who the 5th leading rusher in the NFL is?
Is it Lamar Jackson?
It is indeed. It is indeed. 34 yards behind Miles Sanders, who's 4th.
Jeez.
Josh Jacobs is 3rd at 490, even though he was on a bye. Missed a game, and he's at 490.
You have 180 in a game.
Saquon, 616. Nick Chubb, 649. How about that? He's got 649 yards rushing, and the Browns are 2-4. And they got a game, and they got a field goal from Cade York at the final gun. They could have lost that one against Carolina.
Some bad turnovers from Jacoby Brissett late in games.
Yep. That's my power rankings.
They were okay this week.
But you know, I think I'm being consistent, and I think I'm proving myself right, and I think I'm enjoying the endeavor way more than I thought I would.